Hey guys, it's so great to be back with you. This week we are going to be looking at a new character, Joshua. So why not start by jumping straight into today's story, which is found in Joshua chapter 1, or you may want to use one of the videos included in the description below, or a story version.
So, as we know, God called Moses to go and rescue his people from the harsh treatment of the Egyptians. And Moses does this. So God continues to use him in amazing ways, and he has many incredible encounters with God.
He was a great leader, but by no means perfect, and unfortunately never gets to lead the people into the promised land. But Moses' story is by no means a sorry ending. In fact, he has a brilliant end.
In Deuteronomy 34 verses 10 to 12, it is said of Moses after he died, "Since him, no prophet has risen in all of Israel like Moses, whom the Lord knew face to face. For no one has ever shown the mighty power or performed the awesome deeds that Moses did in the sight of all Israel." What an amazing way to be remembered.
Yet God's vision was so much bigger than just Moses' story. This was all building up towards his great plan to rescue us all, to lead us out of captivity and into freedom and rest. God had freed the Israelites from being trapped and enslaved in Egypt, and now he was teaching them how to live by his wonderful ways and leading them to the special place that he has for them.
Jesus fulfilled this by living out God's perfect way on our behalf. In the Old Testament law, if someone sinned or messed up or got something wrong, it had to be atoned, made up for by a sacrifice offering. Now, there were lots of specific instructions for this, but it would mean that that person's relationship was made right with God and they would be forgiven.
Jesus came and offered up his life for us so that we no longer have to do this, but can come straight to him who died on our behalf for our sin, so that we can know forgiveness and life with him forever and walk closely with our God.
People in Moses' time and throughout the rest of the Old Testament often had to encounter God through other people appointed as priests. But because of what Jesus has done for us, we can go straight to him and talk to him, spend time with him for ourselves whenever we want.
After Moses, God picks out Joshua, a man who has been faithfully serving alongside Moses to lead his people into the promised land. God says to Moses in Numbers 27 verse 18, "Take Joshua, son of Nun, a man in whom is the spirit of leadership, to lead these people."
Near the end of Moses' life, he hands over the leadership of the Lord's people to Joshua. He takes Joshua and presents him in front of all of the Israelites and declares to him in Deuteronomy 31 verses 7 and 8, "Be strong and courageous, for you will need to go with this people into the land that the Lord has promised to their ancestors. The Lord himself will go before you. He will be with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged."
Wow, what a great way to be commissioned, to have all of that declared over you, that no matter what you face, you have no need to be afraid or disheartened, for the Lord will go with you wherever you go.
This command to be strong and courageous is uttered to Joshua again and again. The Lord is building faith in him. For what Joshua is about to face, he needs to be told time and time again that the Lord commands him to be strong and courageous, that he will be with him and he will deliver him. So why don't you pause here and talk about what you think it means to be strong and courageous?
Courage is often about choosing to do the right thing. It takes courage to forgive, to put others above ourselves, to stand up for what is right, even when those around us aren't. It takes courage to step out and trust God. And often we need strength in order to be courageous and hold on to these things.
Whenever God asks us to do something, he always provides us with everything that we need to do it. For Moses, for example, he was described as being slow of speech, and so God provided Aaron to speak on his behalf. Beep beep.
For Joshua, he provides him with the courage and strength he would need to lead the Israelites into the promised land, which was actually already occupied at the time, trusting that God would deliver them and give them the land.
For both of these characters, God promises them, I will be with you. And Moses grasped this to such an extent that in Exodus 33 verses 15, he declares to the Lord, if your presence does not go with us, then do not send us up from here.
Last week we were talking about speaking to and hearing from God, and the same is true for us, that when we feel like God is asking us to do something, like maybe tell a friend about Jesus, or befriend that person who is on their own, or stand up for Jesus and his ways, then he also will give us all that we need when we step out in obedience to him, trusting that he will be with us.
I don't know about you, but I'm sure most of us can relate to how many times Joshua has to be commanded to be strong and courageous, and how often he needs to be reassured that the Lord is with him and is going before him.
Often when we are stepping out and living God's way, we can need a lot of courage and boldness, as the way we live, the way we speak, and the way that we love others will often look a lot different to those around us. And sometimes it can feel a bit like we're a fish swimming against the tide, and that it can be tempting to just want to turn and start swimming along with everybody else.
But Jesus would say to us in these moments, be strong and courageous. I am with you. I will see you through. And you know, the amazing truth for us is that we do not need to try and strive for these things all by ourselves. For example, by saying, oh, I just need to be stronger. I just need to be more courageous. If only I were more bold.
Jesus is the one who gives us that courage, who gives us that boldness. Through his Holy Spirit within us, we can find a strength and a courage from within that is not our own, to help us in our time of need.
Whenever you are in a situation and you find yourself thinking, I do not have enough courage, or I do not have enough strength, Jesus says to you, I will give you courage. I will give you strength. I will lead you through. Just like that declaration in Philippians 4 verses 13, I can do all things through him who gives me strength.
So guys, just got a couple of questions for you this week. Where do you need courage in your life? Can you think of a time when God has given you all that you need to do something? Why not invite the Holy Spirit now to come and fill you afresh with his strength and courage to help you live boldly for Jesus?